We're Slikrok Productions. I'm Jake, this is Kurt, and if you can't tell, we're going to talk about some tires.
Right.
But these aren't just any tire.
No.
Okay. What do we have here?
This is the unicorn tire right here. This is an MRT tire. This is a 37x11R15.
Wait. Say that again. What size is this?
37x11R15. We have wanted this tire for a long time. We met with the owner early this year.
Yep.
And we wanted this tire. We wanted it built specifically in a certain manner. He was gracious enough to do this with us, and we are really excited about this tire. So over the years, we've ran a lot of tires, almost everything out there,
Really?
for the most part. And there's a lot of tires out there we just don't like. And we get asked a lot of tire questions online. People message us all the time, like, hey, I want to buy some new tires for my buggy. What's the best tire? Well, that's a loaded question. We can't really answer that.
Yeah, just so many factors.
So yeah, I mean, it comes down to what's your budget? What kind of terrain do you ride? What buggy do you have? I mean, there's so many things there. It isn't a one size fits all deal. But there's a lot of tires that stand out above other tires out there.
Yep.
And we've thrashed on a lot of tires over the years, but this is a tire we've had great success with. But really, it comes down to two tires.
Yeah.
Out of all these years, we seem to run two tires mainly, right?
Which? Xrox and the Maxxis Zilla.
Yep, we love the Zillas. They are a phenomenal rock tire. We've ran them for a long time. We are not the kind of people who are ever going to talk smack about another company, and there's nothing to talk smack with Zillas.
Yep.
They're a great tire. They're a great rock tire for what you pay for them. They're good, and we believe this tire is equal to them in the rocks. They're about the same compound, about the same surface area, but the Zilla falls short in a couple other areas. And now, the Zilla's got a weak sidewall on them. They don't have very good road manners, and they wear out really fast.
Yeah.
Now, over the years, we've kind of wrote that off. When you're running a competition compound, they are going to wear out fast. They're not going to have great road manners. It's kind of a trade-off deal. But the sidewall thing, that's an issue for a lot of guys out there. We hear a lot about it. But they are relatively inexpensive for what you're paying for,
Yeah.
For that size and for what they are, they're a pretty good budget tire.
Yep.
So there's a trade-off with that. But let's go back to that for a minute and talk about the construction of tires, the carcass of tires. The guy who owns MRT, his name is Mark. He's a phenomenal guy, and he caters to the thrashers.
Yeah.
He loves.
And have you ever known MRT or Mark to skimp on any type of quality?
Absolutely not. This is a guy who will spend money. He does R&D, he sponsors a lot of racers out there. He has in the past. Hammers, guys who are really rough on stuff, that guy kind of falls towards them because it does say something about his tires.
Yep.
Now, it says something to the point where these are a Kevlar tire. They have a 1-year warranty on them.
Yes.
A 1-year sidewall warranty. You blow out a sidewall in one of these, you put a stick through it, a rock through it, or whatever, take a picture of it, send it. He'll give you a new one.
Yeah.
That's pretty phenomenal.
It is.
But let's talk about the construction of tires, right?
Like we cut it in half. What are we looking at?
So the thing is with Kevlar and with nylon, most UTV tires are nylon plies. Most of them are 2 nylon plies on top of that.
Yep.
With 2 nylon plies, you don't get a real great sidewall. If you have really good nylon, that helps out a bit because there's levels of nylon, there's levels of Kevlar. When you're getting at a cheap grade because you're trying to keep your cost of your tire down, you're going to get an inferior sidewall.
Yeah, you're saying that you just want to throw that in there. You pay the least amount of money for Kevlar just so you can say that Kevlar name. But that product compared to what's being used here,
Right.
the actual high quality Kevlar,
Right.
is night and day.
Right, and case in point, we have a set of these that are out in the shop that we have a ton of miles on. They're missing chunks all over the sidewalls. We have thrashed on those tires for a couple of years, and they hold air and they're fine. They have taken a beating, So Mark makes a phenomenal tire. MRT does a great job. They do their R&D on them. This is a phenomenal tire. We know it, and this is what the reason we went down this road with them. But once again, we've ran these toe-to-toe with Zillas in the rocks for 2.5 years right now with the sticky compounds, and they are 6s in the rocks. So, but what you get out of this tire is they cost a little bit more money, but they have better longevity in them. I would argue that these last 40% longer than a standard
Seriously,
tire
almost
does.
double
They're
the amount of life we're getting out of the Xrox compared to the Maxxis.
So you're going to pay a little bit more for them, but they last longer. Plus, they have 3 plies of Kevlar in them, of quality Kevlar, and 3 plies of quality nylon. This is a very tough tire. It's going to last, and it's not going to let you down. We have yet to blow a sidewall out of one of these tires, and it isn't from lack of trying. So we've hammered these things really hard. So we know we're going to get a lot of questions about this, so let's start with the basics.
Yeah, break down the actual specs of it.
Yep.
So we put this on the scale, and this specific tire came in at 55.6 pounds.
A 37x11R15 at 55 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty dope, you know.
Pretty unreal.
You know, especially, like I said, for as many plies as it is in Kevlar, that's a great weight for that tire, you know.
Exactly. Let's talk about height. Where's it coming in?
Now, everybody talks about, we all know that UTV tires are not true to height. You buy a 40-inch tire, you get a 37-inch tire. You buy a 35, you get a 33.
And we have speculations why measurements are off with being a male-dominated industry, but we're not getting into that.
Right. So this tire here, as it sits right now, it's at 36 inches tall. We have these on we have 37s on a 6-inch wide wheel. They're about 36 and a half. You go to a 7-inch wide wheel, you're going to be about 37 and a quarter. But every wheel is a little bit different when it comes to that offset and how they bead and how they go. Yeah. But how much you stretch those out makes a difference. And then air pressure on top of that.
Exactly.
We run 4 or 5 pounds air pressure because we're rock crawlers. That's how we roll. Obviously, if you're going to run 10 or 12 pounds, it's going to be a little taller.
There's just some variations to that setup, but with all those different variations,
36 and a quarter to 36 and a half is probably roughly where you're going to land there. So it's a pretty true to size tire, and especially compared to a lot of the stuff that's out there, you know. It's pretty amazing the amount of 35s that we've measured. There are 32s, you know, and if you're lucky, there are 33. There's a lot of that going on. But be that as it may, we're really proud, we're humbled, and we're honored to be able to do this with MRT. We know what's gone into this tire. We've been dealing with this for a long time, and we know we can put our name on this and we can be proud of it. We're proud of those guys, and we're very appreciative. And we got 50 sets of these coming, and they're going to be here about the end of February.
Correct.
And so we're going to do pre-orders on these in about 10 days. The reason we're buying 10 days is because we're trying to work out some shipping stuff. So free shipping is free shipping, but that's not really how it works. Everything has a cost that comes along with it. The price of these tires is going to be roughly, we're trying to be about $500, but that's going to include shipping on there. So when you think about that, you know, most tires that are in this realm in this size, you're about $400 to $450, and then you're shipping on top of that. And so it's like they're kind of right there anyway. But we're trying to negotiate out some deals where we can, you know, get the best bang for the buck for you guys.
Exactly.
But ultimately, this tire is about $50 or $70 more than the average tire that comes in this size. But we will vouch for how long they last and how badass they are and how well they perform, and you get what you pay for. And for us, we want to spend our money one time. We don't want to be stranded. We don't carry spares because the kind of wheeling we do, we like to keep our weight off the vehicles. And we want to have a tough tire that's badass in any terrain what we put it in.
Right.
And, you know, to go back to our earlier conversation here about the universal tire, that is impossible. But this is as close as it can come for us. We're super happy with this. These things are phenomenal on the rocks. They're great in the mud. They're great in the snow. They're tough as hell. They have great road banners, and they have great sizes, you know, so it's pretty hard to argue that for us. So we're going to put a link out there about 10 days now for pre-orders on there. If you want to get on that list, just certainly message us, and we'll put you on that list. The first 50 of those will be here roughly the end of February. I mean, give or take a week or so.
Right.
And then we got a whole bunch more coming on the back of that, but you know, things are tough right now when it comes to shipping. So we're going to get the best deal we can for you, and we'll certainly let you know. And thanks for watching.